Welcome to my curriculum integration project. The unit is on animals and my lessons are mammals and reptiles. The unit and lessons are designed for a group of first graders in the subjects of science and reading. This lesson follows the Florida State Standard. The first lesson, called Mammals, will take about 3 days to complete. It requires an hour each day of class. The objectives are: students will be able to describe the characteristics of mammals with 80% accuracy. Students will be able to identify 3 animals that are mammals with 80% accuracy. And students will be able to recall how mammals survive with 80% accuracy. To begin the lesson, students will complete the Know and Want to Know column on the KWL chart found on Google Slides. Then they will watch a BrainPop video and copy the anchor chart into their journals. This is an example of the KWL chart found on Google Slides. Each student will receive a copy. This is an example of the anchor chart that students will copy into their journal. This anchor chart provides the characteristics of the mammal. This is an example of an educational clip found on BrainPop Jr. about mammals. On the second day, the whole class will read this passage. The teacher will model how to underline important details. After, they will work in groups and answer the comprehension questions. In order to assess whether the objectives were met, the students will be required to fill out the Learned column on their KWL chart. They will write 3 different mammals, identify 2 characteristics, and 2 ways that they survive. The technology that's being used in this lesson are Google Slides, BrainPop Jr., and NEOK12. This website is a matching game where students get to match the mammals. The second lesson, Reptiles, will also require 3 days, and each class session will be an hour long. The objectives are the following. Students will be able to describe the characteristics of reptiles with 80% accuracy. Students will be able to identify 3 animals that are reptiles with 80% accuracy. Students will be able to recall how reptiles survive with 80% accuracy. On the first day, the students will complete the Know and Want to Know column on the KWL chart. Then they will watch a video on reptiles and copy the anchor chart in their journal. This is an example of the anchor chart that will be provided on the Promethean board. They will then read the passage and underline important details. In partners, students will complete the comprehension questions. In order to assess whether the objectives were met, the students will take a 10-question quiz, which has 5 multiple choice questions and 5 true and false questions. The technology being used in the lesson for reptiles are Google Slides, Reptiles video found on YouTube.com, and NEOK12 matching reptiles game.